Hi, my name is Priscilla and I am the bass player of Seatemples, and this is
I'm Patricio, main songwriter, vocals, guitarist.
and Mastermind.
Thank you very much. We are Seatemples and we're really glad to answer Jay's questions for Darkness Calling from LA. So let's begin. I used to listen to music with some of my aunts and uncles. So they introduced me some rock latino, this musical movement from Latin America, highly influenced by new wave, synth pop, post-punk and more. So I started to listen to Los Prisioneros and Virus, and I tried to understand the controversial lyrics because most of them were playing under a dictatorship. So it was really inspiring for me. But it took a long time for me to have a real chance to play instruments, and it came like 10 years after that point when I started to get my own tape collection and so on.
Well, in my case, I'm not that cool, so
You're totally cool.
I started in music because of my mom. She was singing all the time, like romantic songs, and I would pick this habit from her. So I started singing when I was very, very little, like 5 years old. My mom used to make me sing for my aunts and my cousins, and I would be singing, I don't know, songs that I had no idea about the lyrics. Then I went to a Catholic school, so I began singing in the choir. And I would say that that was like my first approach to music. And then when I was around, I don't know, like 12 years old, I got to know like rock music, and I started to develop a very like an identity regarding music. So that would be my sort of beginning in music. Then I started playing bass, and I tried to learn guitar when I was very little too, and the rest is history, and the rest is Seatemples.
Well, the name of the band has to do with a poetic vision about some sleeping colossal giants underwater, waiting for us to wake them by performing some music and rituals. As you can see, it has to do mostly with worshipping forces of nature. And the name in Spanish means Los Templos Marinos. That is a pretty epic and poetic name as well. So I think we should try to use that Spanish name later.
Yes, we will. Well, regarding our fan base, I could say that we have a lot of fans here in Chile, but I would definitely define our fan base more global. For our first album, we had a chance to work with Dave Allison from Custom Made Music. We released our album in that label. It was a very cool chance because, yes, being a band from Chile, those kind of opportunities are very difficult and very rare. And for our second album, we also had a chance to work with the French label. What's the name, Patricio?
Icicle Records.
Icicle Records, yes. And we also worked with Blackjack Illuminist from Germany. We are also very grateful for those opportunities because these opportunities allowed us to get to further audience. Our fan base is global. Yes, we have a lot of fans in Europe and a lot of fans in the U.S., in Mexico. People have written us from Russia and from Japan, which is crazy because we are a band from Chile.
Thailand.
From Thailand too. I mean, we're not even from the capital of Chile, so that's even crazier. So yeah, I would definitely define our fan base.
And we're really grateful.
Yes, thank you. Thanks to all those
Mexico.
people.
Well, I would like to start with David Bowie. I think he's one of the most influential artists for us and several generations that we mostly love their his Ziggy Stardust times or era albums, and we have a lot of bands that have influenced us, and they have been very inspiring too because of their biographies. It's the case of Suicide, for instance. And speaking about our national bands or Chilean bands, Los Prisioneros is like one of the most influential bands for us and several generations as well because they started a musical career under a dictatorship and they belonged to this movement called Rock Latino as well, combining new waves in pop and punk music, controversial lyrics. Okay, please. Yeah, bands like Killing Joke and Nighttime, I think it's our favorite album. Bauhaus, of course, we have singles here, but we're big fans of most of their albums. The Church, Starfish, yeah, Under the Milky Way, yeah, Reptile, and Los Caifanes from Mexico. Yeah, we love Volumen Uno and the early years of this Mexican band. They also try to introduce and combine post-punk music, goth rock, and more. So they open a gate for a new generation in Mexico and Latin America. The Mission got Tom Medicine, our favorite album by them. The Jesus Murray Chain, Dogland, we love Psychic Hand as well, but I think this one has a special place in our hearts.
Definitely.
Closer by Joy Division, yes, this one is our favorite album by them. It's really meaningful what the band performed and wrote back in the day, and the lyrics of Young Curtis has been totally inspiring for us as well. Slow Dive and So Lucky. Actually, when we started band, I remember one day that I heard Priscilla playing bass and she was playing So Lucky song. It was a really beautiful moment, remarkable moment. The Culture Twins, Heaven or Las Vegas. Yeah, we're big fans of the Culture Twins, but I think Heaven or Las Vegas has a special sound and I don't know, production that really.
Yeah, that really inspired us. I don't know, it's different sound. You obviously haven't heard it anywhere else, and so that hits you differently, of course.
The Fields of the Nephilim, Elysium. We love mostly or mainly the Nephilim on this album, but I think the psychedelic elements here are, impressive, and yeah, it's a masterpiece. It was produced by Andy Jackson, who worked previously with Pink Floyd. Six and the Banshees, Kissing the Dream House. This is my favorite album. How about yours?
Maybe Juju.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Painted Bird is actually my favorite song by Six and the Banshees. Iggy Pop and the Stooges, Raw Power. Yeah, this is a masterpiece and it's a personal favorite. And the KBB. Yeah, I think from the modern bands, this one, yeah, has been a kind of inspiring for us. Not only about the sound, but also because of the resources they use to create their music, drum machines, beats combined with synths and guitars, and they could create something really special.
Well, our first pick, I would say that it has to be Slow Dive, Just for a Day. This is a great record. We really like it. Actually, we covered one of the songs. We covered Spanish Air. This was for international homage to Slowdive from the blog that celebrates itself. Uh, that was a blog from Brazil, and that homage was really, really awesome. We also like this album because we have a favorite song, which is Ballad of Sister Sue. This song has a very special meaning for us. I would say that it is like the song, for Seatemples. We always listen to it and it's quite special. That's the first one. And then I must mention Typo Negative October Rust. We really, really love this album too. I think it has a personal meaning for both of us. Musically, we like the fact that it's an album that is very passionate, that is also very fascinating, and it's also like state of mind, It has many different things that makes it special, that makes it like unforgettable. So that's why this is also one of our picks.
Yeah, we love the mood of the album that evokes mysterious stages and intimacy and some dark landscapes, and yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, we would like to add Sisters of Mercy and Fears of Asano with. I think they were total pioneers of the genre, and with this album they went way farther. The use of resources like drum machines and Dr. Avalanche and man. Yeah, we can highlight the elaborations of dark landscapes and scenarios, and the lyrics also were totally mysterious and gloomy, and the sound of the chords, I mean, everything they put in this album is really special and magical, and they, I think, built something really new back in the day. Please. We're massive fans of The Cure, and it's always difficult for us to pick only one album, so this time we just decided to highlight and pick Disintegration. It's a special album for us and for many people, but for the band, I know it in some way it conveys a special mood. So all the atmospheres in the album are also totally trippy and gloomy, and the lyrics are also intimate and close to people who are missing someone, or losing someone, or when you want to celebrate the love. For instance, the case of Lamb Song. Personally, my favorite song of the album is Fascination Street. I know. How about you?
Mine too.
Okay, so we agree with the album and the song this time. Okay, and finally, we'd like to include a Chilean band, one of the most important Chilean bands for us, that is Lucibel, and their first album called Peces. And it was really revealing and inspiring for our generation to find a local band that included back in the day. I'm speaking of the early 90s. Yeah, the sound of the shoegaze and dream pop and gothic rock and post-punk in only one band, with some of the most fascinating and lyrics you could find back in the day. They were totally poetic, so they gave us this vision to work several styles you love and put them together, and also try to use some Spanish lyrics that sound poetic. And Chile is well known for being a place for poets and poetess like Gabriela Mistral. That is the place we come from. And this album, it's like a masterpiece for the national discography. So this are the albums we wanted to highlight this time, but there is a
There are
long
many
list.
more.
Many
Yes,
more.
many more.
Maybe a second interview for a
Yes.
second interview.
Well, actually, we have two new additions. We have Seba on guitar, and we have Franco in drums. Both of them are really great musicians. They're great people too, and as most musicians know, it is very difficult to find people that you get along with musically. And with them, this has been the case. So we're very happy with them. We're very happy we found them, or that we found each other. So yes, now that we have two new members, we do have plans. We are planning to go on tour, a national tour. We plan to include a couple of cities within the country, and maybe later this year we will have some news regarding new music.
For this year, we really hope to release new music, and we have several new songs. And firstly, we thought about releasing a new album with 10 or more songs. That is really difficult nowadays. So we changed our mind, and now it's gonna be an EP with 5 songs. We already released one that is Verchmert, and this weekend we start recording the next single, and we're really glad with the results of the new songs. There's some variety that is really, attractive, appealing, and also we hope to keep the same production team as the previous releases. And we already talked with Daniel Knowles, that is a brilliant British producer who lives now in the U.S., and he has an amazing project called No with his wife Jennifer, this kind of noise and dream pop project. And also work some collaborations with some visual artists. That has been something really, interesting for us, and we have done this from the very beginning. From the first singles, we work with some Mexican visual artists like Adriana Hernandez, and then Teresa Lobos, Lagomorphosis, and lately Saturniana from Argentina. And I think it's a great opportunity to, have these special collaborations between different arts. And also, we really hope to work with the labels, Icicle Records or Blackjack Illuminist. And maybe when we release a second EP, we'd like to put them together and perhaps add a couple of new songs, and then have this chance to release only one long album. But if some people are listening and are interested in working with us, just send a message, because we would like to release some physical material in the U.S.A. again. And we have this main goal for this year, that is new music, because there are like 8 or 9 songs already. So we had to pick the right ones for this.
Hey, thank you for watching. Also, thanks Jay for this awesome interview. Make sure to visit Darkness Calling Community on Instagram. Also, make sure to visit us on Instagram. We're as Seatemples.music. If you're in Europe and you're interested in getting our material, you can go to Icicle Records and ask them to buy our CD. And if you would like to talk to us, you can send us a message.
Thank you very much for watching, and we're waiting for your questions and suggestions.